This is our Wagyu Philly Cheesesteak. And let me tell you, this sandwich packs an East Coast attitude. It's got chopped Wagyu beef, peppers, onions, and homemade cheese sauce all on steamed toasted Jimmy John's sandwich bread. Did we just become best friends? Yep.
Do you want to see more outdoor cooking content like this? Do you want to up your grilling dad game? Start right now by clicking the like and subscribe buttons below to see more outdoor grilling content made by dads for dads. I'm Adam from the Grilling Dad, and all kidding aside, this might be the greatest sandwich I have ever put in my mouth. Now keep watching to see how we made this Philly cheesesteak that is sure to win you Dad of the Month in your household. Alright everybody, let's run through our ingredients real quick. So for our Wagyu Philly cheesesteak today, we're going to be using some Wagyu flat iron steak that we picked up from Feller's Ranch. We have 2 loaves. This is 2 loaves of day-old Jimmy John's white bread. You can get these at any Jimmy John's location, at least any location near us, for 99 cents a loaf, so it's a great deal. And we can't really tell the difference between day-old and day-of, so it works great. We've got some butter here that we're going to use both to saute our vegetables as well as to butter and toast our bread. We've got our Kinder's The Blend, which is a salt, pepper, garlic SPG blend. We use a little bit of that when we're seasoning our beef while it's cooking. We have our ingredients here for our cheese sauce, and we're going to use some evaporated milk for the base of that. A little bit of deluxe American cheese to give it a really nice smooth texture. And then for the spice, we're going to grate or shred some habanero cheddar cheese in there. And then we've got our onions that we'll dice and saute, and our peppers that we'll slice and saute. Now let's get to prepping our ingredients. All right, so first we're going to slice the beef. We're going for approximately 1/8 of an inch thick. This is a lot easier to do if the meat is partially frozen, which mine is. So this is more or less what we're going for. I don't know if the camera's picking up the thickness of this real well, but pretty thin. Alright, so for our onion here, we're going for probably 1/2 inch size dice on these. A little bit of variation of the texture relative to the peppers, so we're going for somewhere around probably 1/4 inch thick strips, maybe a little bit thinner. Now what we're going to do is we're just going to grate a little bit of cheese to get ready for our making our cheese sauce. And now I'm just going to, and this actually has marks on the side, I'm going to grate probably about a cup. So there we go, that's just over a cup. Grab these scragglers and dump them in with the rest of the cheese. And now we'll move on to the cooking process. Alright, today we're cooking on our Pit Boss Ultimate 4-burner propane grill with the ceramic coated top. This is a non-stick coating. I do have to be a little bit careful using this pan on here so I don't scratch up the surface, but we should be okay. Otherwise I'm using plastic spatulas so I don't scratch up the surface of the grill. I've got all the burners turned on. They're turned down to low for now. I can always adjust up later. But yeah, we're going to start getting some butter down for our onions and our peppers so they can start to saute. Then we will get our beef down so that can cook. We'll butter our bread. We'll start our cheese sauce here. We're going to use about 1/2 cup of this evaporated milk, or sorry, 1/2 of this can. I'm going to get that heating up here. Then I'm going to add in just a couple broken up slices to start with of our American cheese. And I'm going to wait to add my shredded habanero cheddar until this is melted down. It'll give me a little bit better feel for how thick this is going to be. Just kind of gently let this melt down. I'm going to get some butter down on the grill for our peppers and onions. Get those started. I want quite a bit of butter here just because I want these vegetables to get nice and caramelized. Throw my onions down here. Put my onions down first. And throw my peppers on top of there. So I'm just going to start mixing these up and get them nice and coated with that butter. For these, actually, I'm going to turn my heat up a little bit to about medium. These can start to get cooking a little bit here. So yeah, now we're just going to kind of let this stuff go for a little bit. Man, these peppers and onions smell phenomenal already. Keep an eye on your temps if it seems like things are kind of cooking unevenly or the peppers and onions are cooking a little bit too fast. You know, don't be afraid to turn up or down the temperatures on your griddle to control for that. I am going to throw in a couple more slices of the American cheese here just to try to get this to thicken up a little bit quicker. It's still very white, so I want it to take on a little bit of color. You know, it's probably going to be a whiter cheese sauce just because I'm using a white cheddar. The evaporated milk is white, but I do want a little tinge of yellow in there, so I'm going to throw in some more American cheese. And American cheese just tastes amazing on this type of sandwich or a cheeseburger. You know, it's just going to be phenomenal for this. Give our vegetables a little flip here. Oh yeah, we're starting to get some nice color on the bottom of the onions. Alright, I'm going to go ahead and throw in my grated cheddar into our sauce here. Again, I want to try to get this mixed in. Oh yeah. Yeah, this cheese sauce is coming together pretty well here. Still got some chunks that need to melt down, but it's starting to come together really well. I like the color of it. I think it's going to be pretty spicy, but with the peppers and the onions and the beef and the bread to kind of tame it down, we should just be just fine. Alright, I'm going to go ahead and put the meat on. It's beautiful Minnesota Wagyu. Love that sizzle when it hits the pan. I'm going to spread it out a little bit. Then I'll season it. Now we're just going to hit this with a little bit of our Kinder's The Blend, which again is just salt, pepper, and garlic. Don't want to go too heavy, right? It's in the brisket. We just want a little bit of extra flavor in there to enhance the beef. You can see all of the fat now that's rendering out of this meat, which is why I didn't want to put down any butter or oil or anything before I put this meat down. We want this cooked all the way through. So I'm going to spread this out. Check on my vegetables again. Oh yeah, those peppers are starting to get nice color on them now. I'm going to turn the pepper burner down to low. Toss these again. I just kind of shove them to the back. They'll continue to cook a little bit. This will give us some space to toast off our bread. Oh, that's good. Got a little bit of a kick to it. It's about the thickness that I want. That's good. I'll find a little piece of this. Give it a try. Oh, man. It's real good. I'm going to test to my wife. Professional camera woman. How is it, Mo?
Delightful.
She doesn't even really like meat. I'm going to get our bread toasting here. Press that down a little bit. It gets set into the grill. Take Another one. Do the same thing. We want nice surface contact with the grill so it can get nice and toasty. Keep an eye on those. Check on our bread here. See how the toast's coming along. Ooh, we're real close there. And you can see this is a little bit blonder down here. That's because the burner actually starts about right there. So I'm just going to flip this one around. This one's probably the same way. Yep. So again, just going to flip it around. Let those toast for a couple more minutes. Then we're going to be ready to assemble here. This meat is done. I'm going to turn this burner off. So at this point, we don't have the burner on under the cheese. We only have the burner on under where the bread and the peppers are. This burner here is on, so I'm going to move the meat over here just to keep them from cooking too much. Check on our bread here. Oh yeah, that's about money. That's kind of what we're going for. Alright, so I'd say we are ready to assemble here. I'm going to move the cheese sauce over a little bit, mix it back up. At this point, I'm going to turn everything off. Alright. Oh yeah. Alright, so now we're just going to take nice scoopfuls of the meat. A lot of meat on here. Fill this bad boy up. Get a nice scoop of our peppers and onions in here. Now I'm just going to make it rain a little bit of cheese sauce on here. Again, we want this cheese sauce to run pretty much everywhere, so it's going to make a mess. And that is kind of the objective here. I'm going to do even a little bit more than that. I'm going to take it inside, wrap it up, deli sandwich style. We'll let it steam a little bit in the wrapper. That'll soften up some of this toast and make sure the rest of the bread is nice and soft, which is exactly what we want. Then once it's cool enough to eat, we're going to slice into it and give it a taste test.
It's tender. The vegetables are perfectly done. There's still a little bit of a crunch to them, but you can taste the char almost on them. The cheese sauce, has a little bit of a kick, but that's a really good sandwich. The bread is nice and soft. This is good.
Going for a second bite. It's always a good sign. We do a good job.
Wow, that's really good. Holy moly! I didn't get any peppers in that one though. So
Nobody stopped after one bite, so that's a good sign.
Wow, that's delicious. Oh, there's that little kick. I'm not tasting anything I'd like different next time. Just to take a third bite.
There she goes.
Take a bite. Oh, well. That's fine. Take a bite and tell us what you think.
Alright, let's see how this thing turned out. Wow. That's pretty much exactly what I was going for from the texture of the cheese sauce. It's nice and thick. Got a really nice crunch from the toast on the bread, but I don't know if you can tell, the outside of this bread is super squishy. So steaming it in the butcher paper really worked. It's got some nice back end heat. I'm sure I look like a slob here. Yeah, this is amazing. This might be my new favorite sandwich. This Wagyu beef is so tender. It's very kind of a very decadent sandwich. I mean, this is phenomenal. I gotta get another bite here. Oh man, this is a dangerous sandwich, man. I could eat probably 2 or 3 times as much as this. So, like I said, this is a $50 Wagyu beef sandwich. Personally, I think this is worth it. Right? Am I going to make this every day? No, but a couple times a year. I mean, this sandwich is phenomenal. Again, you can make this with choice or prime grade, ribeye or New York strip, and that'd work great. But I think you're going to have a really hard time topping this Wagyu beef Philly cheesesteak. The acidity of the peppers and a little bit of the spice from the cheese sauce really balances nicely with the savory notes of the meat and the onions. So I really think you guys got to give this a try at home. If you do, be sure to comment how it went in the comments below the video. Thanks everybody for watching, and remember, if you like this content, like and subscribe for more content, cooking content made by dads for dads. I'm going to dive in again.